what it is, and we're back from that heat of the week. We had 2 songs from Little Mill. Shouts out to her. She'll be on the show next Friday. Yeah. And who was the other guest?
Big shout out to my man Faded Tay. Also, Take Care on Instagram. That joint right there, that's called Purpose, man. That shit is litty. I can't wait till you jump out here with that joint, man. So, we vibe with the music. Everything's cool, man. We fucks with it, man. Y'all just keep sending that music to 3intuneradio@gmail.com. But it's a big show. Who the fuck we got in the fucking building, y'all?
Who's next to me? We got comedian Ty Davis.
I was like, do they want me to say
Wait, I gotta add some AKA the Young Boy Whisperer.
She said Young Boy Whisperer. AKA Cub Master. AKA Cougar International.
Media radio personality.
Yeah. I'm out here in these streets.
Yeah,
you know,
you work that mic real good.
Well, they don't call me the YBW for nothing.
Okay.
I know how to handle Mike in my damn face. All right, I'm gonna chill.
No. We need to
it's straight uncensored here on Instant Radio. You can say what the fuck you want to say.
Well, in that
case, man, we got you in the motherfucking building.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, comedian, like, what in your world possessed you to be like, yo, I'm fucking funny, even though you're naturally funny?
Yo, it was crazy because for years, since I've been in school, since I've been a kid, for years, people always be like, oh, gosh, Ty, you so funny. You funny as shit. You need to do stand-up comedy. I was like, no, that's not my thing. Getting on stage, the mic, that's a whole different thing from being funny in the living room, kicking it with your family and all of that stuff at the cookout, playing spades. That's the old people game. We play spades.
We play spades.
You know what I'm saying? Well, y'all learned it from an old person. They was playing spades in slavery times. But anyway, you know what I mean? And it was just, it was actually a comedian that's here in Baltimore, comedian Chris Styles.
Okay.
We used to work together, and one day, we was just cutting up at work, and then one day she was like, you know what? We're going to do an open mic one day. And I was like, yeah, we're going to do an open mic one day. We're going to put that on the bucket list, and one day we're going to do it. End up leaving the job. She
I do think it's big what he said about his marriage.
No technical, but yeah.
Okay. So, she actually went and did it, and I was like, oh, man, you did a great job. She was like, all right, now it's your turn. I was like, wait, what? That's not what we're talking about. Because the bucket list is, supposed to be for, you're about to check out. Mm-hmm. And these are the last, few things that you want to do before you check out. And so I was like, all right. So she put me in touch with the guy that she was doing comedy shows with. That guy is Howard G. The Kiss My Bumper commercials, Howard G. And my first 4 to 6 months in comedy, I spent doing shows with him. And it was like one show a month. And I was like, man, I really love this. Like the first time that I got on stage and did comedy, I had no idea what I was doing. And I just went up there, but I loved it. Like the very first time I did it. And I was like, man, I got to find the scene. I got to find where else I can go to do this. And so I started meeting other comedians, and then I started finding out about the open mics. And then I started, networking, and fast forward 3 years, and here we are.
That's what's up. That's dope.
Here we are.
That's dope. So how did you, because you also radio personality, you just got so much in your repertoire. So how did you get into radio?
It was crazy because the comedy kind of spiraled me into everything that I'm doing right now. Mm-hmm. So I had a square job. I was a regular citizen. That's what we say in the entertainment industry. I was a regular square citizen. I was a fraud analyst for Bank of America. And
well, hook me up because I got an account.
I would shut your shit down is what I would do. I would shut your account down. And I was doing comedy everywhere, whatever. And Jay Claxton from 92Q and DTLR Radio, he has a radio show on DTLR Radio. And, him and Cleon the comedian and Ray Diva, they were on the radio show together. And one day, I had a show with, each of the comedians on different occasions, went and sat in the studio, just waiting for them to finish so that we could go and do the show. And Jay was like, why are you sitting here? He was like, come in here. I was like, okay. And I was just literally sitting and watching. And then he just one day shoved the mic in my face, and I was like, okay. And then I spoke to whatever the topic was. I have no idea what it was. And then after that, he was like, you know what, you're pretty funny. You should come every day. And I would come and kick it in the show with all of them every day. And then I officially became the co-host of the Franchise Movement Show with Jay Claxton on DTLR Radio from 5 to 9. And it was Monday through Friday. And then fast forward a little over a year later, in July, they gifted me the keys to my own show. So now I have my own show Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on DTLR Radio, the morning after show. So that's my new baby.
And what can we expect from the show for people who've never heard it?
Well, what you can expect from the show is, one, I like to do a number of things. I like to educate and I like to entertain at the same time. And it's a big, it's a big market. So DTLR is not just in Baltimore. A lot of people don't know that. So it's not just in Maryland. It's across the country in 19 states, Washington, D.C., over 200 stores. And so I like to try to tailor to the entire demographic. So my demo ranges from like 15, 16 up to like 65, 70. So you're going to hear the music. Of course, you're going to hear the current stuff. On Thursdays, you hear the throwback stuff. I talk about what's going on in real news, like, CNN, pop culture, fashion, the sales that's going on in DTLR, and, just funny stuff. Like, I mean, today I did like the birthday segment. I talked about Richard Pryor, and I talked about Sarah
one of your biggest
Silverman.
influence?
Oh my gosh, Major, he's the greatest of all time. He's one of the greatest to ever do it. So if I'm lucky, I will have a fraction of his success in comedy if I'm lucky. So, but yeah, I talk about a number of things. It's fun. It's upbeat. I have a segment, of course, which ties to my brand.
Let the people know. Let them know. Let you know.
So I'm the young boy whisperer because, I enjoy the company of younger men. So this cougar lifestyle, I talk about that. So I have a segment on my show called The Cub of the Day, and that's where I showcase some popping, hot, young sexy thing out here in the streets. And but on Wednesdays, because I took the feedback of the listeners and people that work in the stores, and I took their feedback. And on Wednesdays, since Wednesday is primarily designed for Woman Crush Wednesday, on Wednesdays on my show, I do Cougar of the Day.
Okay.
And Thursdays, I'll do a Throwback Thursday Cub. So it either could be a Cub from, that I chose before, because I started the Cub of the Day thing last year, just fooling around on social media. And
she's some good picks, by the way.
You know what I mean? Or I say it's like a dude that's maybe my age, like age appropriate guy, and I'll choose him. You know what I mean?
Look at him.
And so it's like that. And I actually debuted a new segment on my show yesterday, because the show is called The Morning After Show. Of course, y'all know about The Morning After. Ooh. And so it's The Morning After Show. Well, I've added a new segment which debuted yesterday called The Morning After Pill. And the Morning After Pill is a daily dose of inspirational or motivational message to anybody out there that might need it. So, it's a new show. It's my baby, and I'm just working to build it up and build the audience bigger. I'm trying to be on some Howard Stern type stuff.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's what's up.
So, like, real talk, all comedians been through this shit right here. Like, have you ever bombed? And what the hell was the bomb?
Bruh, let me tell you something. And a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people sometimes don't want to be honest. And I think the only way that the journey is rewarding and it's enriching and that it helps someone is if you are true to your testimony, right? So I have bombed probably 1 million times.
That's crazy.
Sucked ass. and it's crazy because Facebook does the memories or whatever, and I'll go back and look at my memories and I'll be like, yo, I really sucked. But that's how you get better. You know what I mean? So I bombed and knock on wood. Hold on, ain't
no wood unless you hit this.
Had to get to the 4. I've had a really good winning streak with my stage performances, because it's not just about getting up there and being funny. It's about the stage mechanics. It's about working the mic. It's about working the crowd. So now I'm more consistent because I've taken the time to learn and really put myself in, because this is what I decided to do. I left my corporate America job, making a lot of money. Making good money, great benefits, direct deposit. Every 2 weeks, I know this check is coming. To now, I don't know.
I don't know.
Now that you don't know, what's that life like? Because we want our
listen,
not knowing.
Listen, it is difficult. There are days where I'm like, bruh, I'm too old for this. I gotta go back to work. This isn't right. And of course, I have my revenue from doing comedy shows and doing radio, and I do other stuff comedy is a gateway to so many other things that people don't even realize.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I have a radio show. Some of the greatest comedians like Ricky Smiley, D.L. Hewley, they also have radio shows.
Right.
And then I do voiceover work as well. So DJs and rap artists will hit me up to do, drops on their albums, or, do a drop on something.
Oh, wait a minute. I think we're going to need a little
sample
sample of this.
I do. I mean, it depends. They'll hit me up and be like, hey, I really need your voice on this. And I'm like, man.
All right, so check it out real quick. We need to drop right now.
Take a shot.
It's your boy Philly, right? You know what I'm saying? I want you to let all the ladies know out there that your young boy is a nice. I ain't a cub. I'm a little lion. I'm on my shit.
He said, wait a minute, are you a little lion?
I'm a little lion.
Are you a little
I
lion?
want to be at. But if you give my lady listeners out there a look at how that's your boy Philly, man.
So we saying hell with them. We just
No.
drop
Well,
for
see,
you.
right now,
Yo, you can drop them. I'm good.
You're the cougar
I don't
whisperer.
need no
And I'm
episode.
not really your cub.
So look, I'm gonna do this. So we got Intune Radio Philly, then we got my girl Tina Yagani, and then we got Alicia. But you did a little knock.
It's Alicia Lee the Truth.
Oh yeah, it's Alicia Lee the truth.
Truth.
I did
All
that because last week I was, missing the action.
Send the cougars my way, bro. That's what I'm at.
See, you're cougar. Okay, we're gonna get into
Right.
that.
You know I'm an inspiring cougar.
Okay.
Excited,
So I'll do this. So I'll do the look because we got the liners at work. All right. So look, today's broadcast was brought to you in part by the Baltimore Music Awards. Let your voice be heard at the 2017 BMAs. Polls are now open for 7th annual red carpet event honoring Baltimore. Log on to BaltimoreMusicAwards.com before December 3rd to cast your vote in all categories, and make sure you listen to Intune Radio. We got my man Intune Radio Philly. Listen here, old ladies, the cougars out there. Listen, I got a cub sitting right there. He's a little more age appropriate for me, but he's definitely out here in these streets, and you want to get that. My girl Alicia Lee to the right, she is very sassy, very fierce. She would be a great addition to the Cougar Coalition when she gets there. And then my girl Tina Yagani to my left. She is a cougar in training right now. She done ran out there without getting the full lesson of cougarnomics, but we gonna get her on the right path. You heard it there from the young boy. I like that.
Lady cougars.
Yeah, see, they be knowing, but they spell. Yeah, that's my girl Bessie right there. I love her. She supports me a lot. She calls into the show and everything all the time. So shout out to you, Bessie. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm drinking out my flask.
You said drinking out my flash.
I mean, because I still want to be a lady. I still want to be like classy a little bit. So I don't want to drink out the bottle. So I have my flask here.
That's cute.
And I got this flask from a store. I got a store in the mall.
Okay.
And it says, "Well-behaved women rarely make history."
That's very true.
And you
So
two
true.
are not well-behaved.
Ain't no guy.
I believe that one day y'all will make
I've been a
history.
badass since I was like a toddler.
Somebody told me the other day, somebody told me the other day, was like, Ty, you making history. I was like, what history am I making? He said, rarely people, when they are making history, don't realize that they're doing it. So you guys are putting on for the ladies right now. So I appreciate y'all so much.
Oh, thank you, Ty.
You're inspiring too. Not to get all emotional, but I've known you for a moment, and you definitely inspired me to see you from just kind of starting out with comedy to being a personality to being, the queen of all cougars and a young boy whisper. You're really doing your thing out here. So we definitely applaud you for that.
The Intune Radio audience, I don't think they know. I don't think you knew. My first ever radio interview since I've been like an entertainer was by you.
Oh, really?
What?
Oh, that's dope.
Big Tina, you got it.
That's dope.
I can't remember the name of the show.
We were
and
on the
just-
happy hour.
Yes, that's what it was. The happy
Yes.
hour.
That's
So
dope.
you,
That's dope.
Shout out
Mecca
to
and
Dub.
Squiz.
Shout out to WPB Radio.
Yeah, I didn't know all that.
That's
Yeah.
dope.
So
So it's a
my
reunion.
my first ever and it was crazy because when
So
y'all hit
you
me
was
up, I
making
was like,
history and didn't know.
Oh, okay.
I was like, why do they want to talk to me? I was like, why do they want to talk to me? I don't. What is that?
I was like,
And
she's so funny.
She did.
You gotta
it made me
get her.
feel good. You know what I mean? So technically, you are part of my history. Like, I have a book coming out. I have a book coming out next year, and that story is in it.
Hey, Tina! You flew that shit.
My bitch in the book.
My bitch in the book.
My bitch in the book. Yo, we got a hashtag that. My bitch in the book. Yeah. So yeah.
That's what's up.
I see people don't know. Like, I got a lot of hustles. Like, you gotta understand. Like, in this thing, like, you gotta
Yeah,
insert
you definitely
yourself
have.
in so much stuff. So, like, not only am I on DTLR radio, I do stand-up comedy, and I don't do just stand-up comedy in the hometown. I travel.
Right.
I go out of town, and I also cover media events, and I go as red carpet press for different things, and I also write for the DTLRradio.fm website. So I write pieces on comedy, pieces on fashion, pieces on pop culture, pieces on regular news. Like, I have pieces up there on the site now about the whole Russell Simmons thing. I'm the senior editor for creative content for the website. So
Listen, we get
She doing big shit. She doing big shit. Definitely making big moves.
Part-time job.
Part-time job.
But you know, though, like I love it. I love it, and you know, I'm a little older. I'm an older gal. You know, I'm almost 40, and it took me a very long time to be this person. Like I worked really hard to be this person. And at the place that I'm in right now, like if you are toxic, if you are tearing at the fabric of who I worked hard to be, you got to go. Like I will remove it ASAP. And like it don't even matter. It could be like it could be family, it could be a best friend that I've been friends with for 20 years. You got to go. Because it took me so long to get to this place.
Okay, sis, I know you the leader of the Cub Scouts. International Couganator. You know what I'm saying?
I like that. Couganator. I like that. I'm going to take that.
So can a man be a, you know, like what am I called? If I
here we are. So here we go.
Definitely. Hold up. Can
I be an older? Listen, I'm saying this for all my niggas with big keys on their waist, with the van out front.
Okay.
This all them with shoulders in the back. This all them. Can they be considered
with the van?
All right, so here we go. So this is the lessons of Cougarnomics, okay? And I do the lessons of Cougarnomics. Anybody hears me say that, or you see the hashtag, it's either we're having like a genuine conversation or I'm doing it on stage. So part of the lessons of Cougarnomics, the Cougar Coalition is an organization that I founded for lack of better words, for old bitches that enjoy the company of younger men. You know what I mean? And we have several auxiliary groups that are under the umbrella of the Cougar Coalition. So we have the Cougars in Training program, which are for those girls that haven't quite yet reached the age of cougar status, but they're going to be entering into that zone soon.
What's the age?
And we're going to acclimate them.
That's me right there.
Then we also have the Silver Fox Association. Okay. Now that would be for you. No, Silver Foxes. So because listen, there's no such thing as male cougar. Okay, you can't be a male cougar. That's weird.
But the cougar is straight.
These terms are not coined by me. These are terms that have already existed. So that is why I talk about it. So the Silver Foxes are usually men that are older or age appropriate that enjoy the company of younger women. Now, if you are someone that likes someone that's older and they're going to spend some money on you, then you're a sugar baby.
A sugar baby?
And if you are looking for a sugar mama or a sugar daddy, then you're a sugar baby. But a cougar is a whole different animal. Cougars are ambush predators.
Ambush predators?
Okay, you can Google that. It's on Wikipedia. I do research about my brand. Okay?
Before she goes further, she even has the cougar gear.
Yes,
I need you to explain what the cougar gear is.
So as you can see, this device that's on my neck, this is not a Bluetooth. It's a device. It's a cougar collar. Okay? And a cougar collar is how the young boys can identify us as being open and perceptive to what they have going on. All right. So and you got to think about the psychology of it. You rarely see a woman that's like under 20, maybe even under 25, that has a Bluetooth on their neck, because it's like it's not cute. You got the wires and all of this stuff.
So hold on.
You know,
TD Jakes wears a Bluetooth. Yeah, so he's a Silver Fox.
He's a Silver Fox.
The old dude.
But then I tell you that I want to go to the Essence Festival next year so I can find me a sugar daddy, because I know he got the Bluetooth. The Bluetooth with the.
So there's different ways that you can identify like older men and younger men. And the thing about like younger men, like people always like, oh, you're a pedophile, you're disgusting. Listen.
They're legal.
Listen, so there are requirements if you're going to be one of my cubs.
And what's the requirements to be a
so cub? Typically, okay, and rules are meant to be broken.
That's right.
And there are exceptions to every rule.
That's right.
So typically, I like my cubs to be at least 21 years old. Yeah. That means that you can go to the liquor store and you can pick up mama a bottle of wine before we get up, okay? However, if you are super bad, and this happened recently.
Wait a minute. You went under 21?
Man, I went under.
That little 16-year-old.
Oh, no, that's illegal.
We don't go
gotta be 18.
You gotta be legal. So
if
you are under 21, that is when I exercise my "you're old enough to vote" package. Okay. So this particular cub, and I protect the anonymity of all of my cubs. I respect their privacy, and I don't need people to know how big of a hoe I actually am. There was this one really, I mean, when I tell you this little thing was so fine. He was so fine.
What he looked like?
He was bad. He was a tall, light skinned, tatted up. Listen,
Light skin with tat.
I was with it. I was with it. And I saw him and I was like, man, this thing is cute. And I knew off the rip, I knew he was young. I knew he was real young. So, you know, we kicked it a couple times and I asked him, I was like, hey, how old are you? Because I need to know that because I'm not going to jail. I'm not going to jail. And I will card you if I'm just really not sure. I'm gonna need to see the ID. So, and I asked him how old he was, and he was like, I'm 20. I was like, 20 what? He was like, nah, I'm just 20. And I was like, well, when will you be 21?
Right.
He's like, I just turned 20. I was like,
Damn.
damn.
Fresh meat.
So I was like, all right, well, let me see your ID. I need to see ID because you know, niggas lie. Niggas lie every day, B. They lie every day. I was like, I ain't about to get caught up in a R. Kelly sex scandal. So his ID showed that he was actually 20 years old, and I had to make a decision. I was like,
He got it.
I was like, well, he fine. So I was like, fuck it. All right. Yeah, I did it. I hit him. Shout out to him.
He called it today.
So
but I only hit him the one time.
One time.
Sometimes one time. And then fine with me.
Okay, hold on. So do women one and done?
Yes, we do.
I'm about to start exercising the 3 and out because
sometimes it's just like 3 and you out.
Because
he's one and done. Y'all one and done.
Fuck out of here. No. The one and done. Things are just already surfaced at the top already. It's like you already know this is what you're good for.
I mean, you know, it was just a one time. I mean, he was, you know, listen, I knew it. First of all, you're 20. Okay. So this is not going anywhere ever. And I have a child that's older than you.
That's your age.
No, that's older than you. So
retro pussy.
So it's a throwback. I'm a throwback.
I let it throw back.
The throwback pussy. The throwback.
I'm gonna keep it 100.
She's vintage.
I'm
gonna keep it 100. I like it. There's nothing wrong with vintage. But at this point in my life stage, in my career, sugar mama, if you're out there,
I can't.
You know, it's not me per se, but it's young fellas like myself that we need a little help.
We need a little help.
You need a little help.
Holla at your boy and brothers like me. But I'm gonna go ahead and let it go though.
It's a phone call coming.
It's a phone call. Okay, who is it?
Please don't be nobody I know. That's all I'm praying for. It's a show.
I think it's the guy, the 20-year-old.
Yo, if it is, oh, that's funny. Okay, I see what happened there. I was like, no, wait, because our real life got you got scared. I real life got concerned. I was like, wait, can we pause this? Let's go to a break. I need to see who this is.
Wait a minute. People are coming on my live saying, get that cougar action.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Listen, old chicks need love too. And here's the thing. The only reason that I say that I'm old and because I'm a little more mature, like a lot of people don't realize it. I'm 37. I'm 37. But, you know, and this is the thing that ties into my journey and my comedy as it's expanding to a lot of people. You know, you got to come out and you got to see it because that's what comedians are. I was telling outside, that's what comedians are. We're funny storytellers. I had my first child when I was 14 years old.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So I had to grow up and mature ASAP Rocky. I learned that from one of my cuts. Those ASAP guys. I really like their music. And you know what I mean? So I've been a mother, I've been an adult, you know, for a very long time.
Right.
And for a long time, I only
fast.
dated older men. I only dated older men. I've only ever been attracted to older men, and I still date older men. Sometimes I date an older dude and a young dude at the same time because it's like being in a time machine.
Now, do they know? Hold on.
Wait a minute. I need her to say that again. It's like, what?
It's like being in a time machine. It's exciting. You know what I mean? It's like, ooh,
So
it's like trap music and Isley Brothers. I like it. You know what I mean?
Do they know about each other or you just don't say shit?
So here's the thing. I'm all about don't ask me questions if you don't want to know the answers to them. But if you ask the question, I will be honest with you. So I will say publicly right now, I am seeing someone. I'm seeing someone that I really
Like
care about.
Where you dumb
How long? Wait, is he?
a younger dude?
You know,
Or is he an older dude?
see this brand stuff, like this, my brand and this cougar stuff, like I got to be mindful of that when I go out in public, because every time I say, "Oh, I'm dating someone," the first question that people ask, they don't ask who is he, they ask how old is he.
Right.
Well, how old is he?
He's age appropriate.
10.
He's older. He's older than
Really?
me.
He's older than you?
He's older?
Yeah, he's older than me. Because typically with the Cubs, you know, I have fun
So
with
what is
them
that?
and I play around with them.
So
But I settled down
playing in the
with.
line.
I got
Yeah.
a question because I seen that you had the dude from Power, Dre.
Listen.
Oh, yeah.
How
Yeah,
was that?
He's cute.
So
How was that? I don't really find him attractive, but he just is funny as hell.
well, he's
Funny
got like
as hell.
he's got and I hate to say this because I hate when guys say it, but he has an exotic look to him.
Right. Because he's not from here, right?
Right. He's
He's African.
He's
Not
African.
Okay.
Nigerian, I
Look,
think.
He had the wide,
Um,
pretty nose.
so that's
lips and all
Rotimi.
that.
So he first of all he was super nice, super humble guy, doing the music, doing the comedy thing, and of course I was like, you know, we vibe and we have fun and made him laugh and stuff, and I was like, hey, I need you to do this drop for me.
Yeah.
I need you to do this drop. I need you to say, and listen, I ain't gonna front. My drops I be lying like a motherfucker. I don't care. Because it's not what people know, it's what they
Perception
are
is
perceiving.
everything.
Perception
Yeah.
is reality.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, I need you to do this drop for me. He was like, all right, you know, what do you want me to say? I was like, say Todd Davis is your favorite cougar in the whole world. And he said it, and it looked believable as shit, because even I was like, well, hey.
Well, did
You know
your
what
cougarism level go higher?
He's a nice guy, and typically he's not, you know, my type. But he was super nice, and he did that drop for me. And Miguel did a drop for
Oh,
me.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was that? Like,
I
you
was a
see-
little jealous.
Miguel, and I got to sing with him.
Oh,
What?
oh yeah,
I
Ty
got to
can sing. Did
I
y'all know
got to
that?
sing with him.
No, I didn't know.
Ty
Can
can
we get a
sing.
little harmonized?
I can fucking
Yes,
sing.
you can. I remember out of a certain drugstore, you
No.
were singing with someone.
So I do this thing now. So if you see, like, if you pay attention to my hashtags, I have sing-alongs with Ty. So either I'm singing with an artist that's in the studio, or I'm singing by myself. And I used to sing in church when I was younger or whatever. I grew up like that, singing in the church. But I got to sing with Miguel. Like, we sang one of my favorite Miguel songs. Tank was in the studio a couple months ago. I got to sing his new song with him. So, you know, I'm the best version of myself that I've ever been in my entire life. And all I want to do is be a better version of myself. So I'm only competing with myself right now. So, you know, you never know what you're going to see when you look at comedian Todd Davis on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, Snapchat, Tumblr, and Pinterest. That's for the older ladies out there. We
Yeah,
be
the
on
old
Pinterest.
ladies love that Pinterest.
We love it. We be pinning shit
I
like
love
motherfuckers.
Pinterest.
Pinterest is
I be
You
on that bitch
old
all
might be a
day.
cougar
It
in the
typically
trainers.
is.
I love Pinterest.
Are you
They
a
got
cougar in
arts and
trainers?
crafts,
That's
stuff
why
like that.
I was like, all girls up. I found my nails, hair colors, outfits. I found all that shit on Pinterest.
Listen, like
Home
Pinterest is
stuff.
like one of the best kept secrets. Because when you think of social media, you think of, okay, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. Those are the top big
No.
4 ones. But
Pinterest is
Tumblr
the
is
shit.
more geared
I
towards
love
like
that
social
Tumblr. They
media
nasty.
Oh, yeah.
and blogging.
Oh, I love that Tumblr.
I know what
Tumblr's
you're
better
following.
than X and X.
He said, I know you're following.
I love Tumblr.
And then
Right.
Pinterest, you know what I mean? And like Pinterest has, and I put my, and that's the
Pinterest is
thing.
shit.
If you want to, okay, I'm about to get in my bag right now.
Get in your bag. Let's go.
Get in my bag. So if you follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Tumblr, any of those things, you'll see that all of my social media is tied to my website, comediantodddavis.com.
Let's go.
And you'll be able to see my artist interviews. You'll be able to see videos, clips of me doing stand-up, my YouTube channel, all of that. My website links you to everything that is related to Todd Davis. I have my blog that is debuting in 2018 called Know Yourself, Love Yourself.
Okay.
So that's coming out. I'm going to be working on pushing more content on my YouTube channels because, you know, the age that we're in, people want to see you, but they want to see you moving. It's not
Yeah.
just pictures. So they want to
That's
see
right.
you
It's all about the
moving.
visual now.
So,
yeah.
you know, I don't do like the funny videos. Like, you know, a lot of people try to say, oh, you need to start doing videos like
No.
this person.
No.
That's not my lane. That's
Don't
not
do
what I
it, Ty. And
So,
you know what I
you know what
love?
I
You
mean?
said
I
that's
don't do
not
that.
my
That's
lane.
not my lane.
A lot of people have to understand
Nah,
that it's not
my lane.
their lane.
It's not my lane.
Stay
You know
in
what I mean?
your own
It's
lane.
not my lane because when you start to do stuff that is not genuinely who
Mhm.
you are, it looks like it and it's phony.
Right.
It's not
Phony as
fun.
shit.
So listen, while I love, there's a lot of social media personalities and internet personalities out there killing the game right now. I don't do that. I don't do that.
Yes.
You couldn't do any, like, you know, you see some of these comedians doing skits and videos.
Yeah, like I've actually participated in a few skits, like Cleon.
Big shout out to my man Cleon.
Yeah, Cleon does. He does a number of things. Cleon does movies. He does skits, and I've been in a couple of his skits.
Right.
I was actually in one of his movies that came out, but my part was cut out. And that's
damn.
No, but you know what though? But
it happened in show business.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, this is what I appreciate about my relationship and my journey with Cleon, because he put me in one of his movies, and this guy is somebody that's out here in these streets and has a well-respected name in comedy. And I learned a valuable lesson. Just because you in the movie and you're in the production, you may not make it to the final cut.
Right.
So that's preparing me for if I do go and do a casting role somewhere else. And it might be times where it could just be a scene where I'm walking across and that's it. You know what I mean? So that prepared me for that. I've done skits with Cleon. I've done skits with other comedians, and no shade or anything to any. That's not my lane. I don't know how to do that. Like, I once saw Cleon shoot a skit and with a fucking iPhone, with an iPhone, and it was just real quick. He was like, hold the camera, do this, do that, or whatever, and then went into the studio while we were doing the show and had that shit finished before the end of the show and had it on. I was like, yo, bro, how you do that?
That's how you do it, though.
Like, how do you do that?
Radio.
You know what I mean? So, and there's a lot of other of my favorite comedians, like comedian Dave Butler. He also does, shooting of the videos and skits. King Tank. Oh my God, he's another comedian that does amazing skit videos, and he has this other persona, Donnell Trump. If you've ever followed him, like, you see those fucking videos are funny as shit. Like, just hilarious. That Just with the Mess shit, I fucking love it.
Yeah, that was definitely a good concept.
That's my favorite thing.
So,
and then I said what I said.
I said what I said. You know what I mean? So, like, that's her signature. You know what I mean? Her signature is the Just with the Mess. Cleon's signature is bluffing ass nigga and doing the skits and doing the videos. You know what I mean? And my signature is Ty Davis, the Cougar Coalition, the Whisperer. You know what I mean?
So let me ask you. So what's next for Ty, the Cougar?
What's next?
The Young Boy Whisperer. Get it right.
Okay. So what's next for the Young Boy Whisperer is I will be going on a promo tour in 2018, starting hopefully we're trying to work out the dates and everything, but starting in January, I'm going on a promo tour outside of the regions that I've already been. So I'm trying to go, I'm going to Georgia. I'm going to North Carolina, Florida. I'm going to my hometown, South Carolina, Virginia. You know what I mean? Like, further out. I'm going to be working a lot of the comedy clubs, hosting, featuring. I have my second production is coming. I put on my first comedy production September 23rd, the Fallout Comedy Show. Okay. So my next comedy show, I think I'll go ahead and debut it to the public right now.
Okay, we got the exclusive.
Okay, Intune Radio exclusive. Okay. The next Comedian Ty Davis production is going down April 1st. Okay, that's April Fool's Day. That's a day designed for the pranks, designed for the jokes and laughs. And it is called the Femme Fatale Comedy Show. All female lineup, female DJ, female security. Hashtag we got time.
We got time.
We got time. So that's coming out April 1st. The promo tour. I plan to release my book. I'm actually in the middle of, definitely. And I'm actually in the middle of writing 2 books right now. So, but my pet project that I want to get off is my autobiography. It's about me and my journey in comedy and my journey in life. It's called Tears of a Clown. And it's a play on the song. Y'all know the song I'm talking about?
Tears of a Clown.
Right.
That's Temptation, right?
So I think it's Smokey Robinson.
Oh, that's Smokey Robinson.
Smokey Robinson, yeah. Smokey Robinson. Y'all want, man.
Y'all would say, why are you not sing? Because you know how I've heard you.
I don't know what y'all want.
Yes, I heard you.
Y'all already know. All right, check it out. It's Intune Radio. You already know what it is. We got comedian Ty Davis in the building. And because it's the holiday season, and we're going to get y'all in the holiday spirit, we're going to have my sister sing a Christmas
A Christmas carol?
From the Cougar. Of all Cougars.
Damn.
So what's the Christmas song? Y'all got me on the spot.
Give them a Jingle Bells. Or
you should do like the 12 Days of Christmas.
12?
Like,
no.
No. That's excellent. Thank you. That's what I was going to say. The Cougar.
Hold on, Ty. I didn't put her down. We the shit over here. we didn't put her down. With
dropping jewels.
The 12 Cubs of Christmas.
The 12 Cubs of Christmas. That's coming.
Comedian Ty Davis. Let's get it.
I don't know what song to sing.
Well,
Hold up,
listen,
you put
baby.
me on the spot.
Number one.
Dang, I got. You know, I'm gonna come up with something. You just gave me an idea. I'm gonna come up with a 12
Make
Cubs.
sure you shout out into
because
radio.
because I had I was gonna do a 12 Cubs of Christmas because I do a Cub of the Day every day. Well, Monday through Friday. Every day I post a Cub of the Day, but I was gonna do a 12 Cubs of Christmas, which I was gonna go back through and look at my analytics and see what social media.
Oh, she's like my analytics. She's so proper about
Man,
these
listen,
Cubs. Yes.
I am looking at my insights. I am looking to see about my reaches and my profile views, my website.
You got
my
to.
email
Yes,
clicks.
you got
I
to.
need to know it, like, because that's why I push out content as much as possible. And when my reaches are down, I'm like, get in your bag, bitch. You got to figure out something else that you need to do that they're gonna love. So I pay attention to that. I pay attention to what people like and what they don't like. So let me see a Christmas song. I don't even know.
On this Christmas,
Who we got?
Temptations.
We got.
Hey,
I
yeah.
don't know the words of Silver Bells, bro.
Temptations Christmas is the bomb. I don't care what nobody says.
How's it go? Keep going.
We don't want to hear you sing. We want to hear not Philly.
I'm trying to think of a song. Y'all killing me.
Hang on,
I don't know the rest of it. Y'all motherfuckers are terrible.
You know you better.
Okay.
Silent Night.
I know Silent Night.
Oh yeah, you Silent Night. You Silent Night.
Yo, y'all put me on a.
Professional, let's go. It's too ready. It's too ready. We got time. Give me.
I'm about to. Let me see. I'm gonna sing something else. What's another Christmas
It don't
song?
matter.
What
Do
is
what
that?
you want.
Jingle bells.
Anything you want to do.
Man, I can sing what's my favorite song? Oh, you know who my favorite group is?
Who?
My favorite group, my favorite R&B group. Y'all gonna laugh like me.
Let's go.
Who is
Rock.
it? It's Drew Hill.
Why would we laugh at that?
They just came out with a new Christmas
Yeah,
song.
they did.
Make sure
I don't know all the words to it.
Okay.
All right, let me see. What's my favorite Drew Hill song?
Sleeping in my bed.
Nah, definitely not. My mother's sleeping in my bed. They're gonna punch in the face.
Do 5 steps.
Oh,
Oh my god, that's my
steps.
song.
Let me see.
5 cups.
Philly.
Yo, you giving me mad ideas though. And what's the song? You know what the song is? The song, I think it's called "Baby I'm no, that's not
Beautiful Beauty was her name.
It's like the song goes. It's like "Baby I'm sorry."
Oh yeah.
Sorry for what I've done.
Hey.
Do you forgive me? And let me be your only one, 'cause you are. You gonna do back up? Because it was a part where like he really broke it down, like Cisco really broke it down.
He goes all the way in.
And I was like, yo, I want somebody to like, if you make me mad, I need my dude to be like apologizing. Like
Yes.
that. So he's like, what the hell part where the song was? Hold up, I'm gonna get it. He was like, he's like, hold on, I'm gonna get it. Play the shit. Can somebody play the shit?
I got it in my
I sing along. We do sing along all the time.
DJ Diamond K.
Diamond K. You play the song? Yeah, do the DJ horn, right? I think it's called "I'm Sorry." Isn't that what it's called? I think it's called
the apologize song, right?
I think it's.
Sorry.
I'm gonna sing the shit. I'm not shy.
I'm just like, I'm really like, he really knows these songs.
And my voice is a little raspy, like as it is.
At least you know the truth. She about to pull up the track.
Yeah, pull it up. Pull the track up, yo. Pull the track.
Because I don't think it's called Baby I'm Sorry.
I don't think it's called "Baby I'm Sorry."
It's not. But I know it's on here.
Hey, yo, wait, big shout out to my man Wayne. I can't wait to get to work tomorrow.
I think it might be called "Baby." I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. It's very shit. Because there's a part where Cisco breaks it down.
It's called You Are Everything.
You are everything. That's it. I'm not like "Baby I'm Sorry."
But you know,
You gotta keep fast forward that shit.
Yeah, hold on.
You know what I'm saying? And then of course I love Jodeci. Like I'm,
wait,
But
can you
Drew
do
Hill? Drew Hill is like my favorite.
Beanin was my shit.
Like I opened up for Drew Hill last year.
What?
I opened up, and it's crazy because they don't even know about
Was
it.
that Ramsey Live?
No, it was at Bowie State University. I hosted a show
that's
there,
dope.
and they would put on a concert. It was Trina, it was Backyard Band, and it was Drew Hill. And listen, fuck what you talking about. I use all of that as credits I've opened up for. I've also opened up for Takeo Bang. I opened up for Jacquees.
You met Jacquees?
Yeah, I'm fucking out here.
I love his way.
Was he a cup of the day?
He was one of my cubs.
He just turned like 21.
Yeah, he was one of my cubs.
Yeah, he just turned. Oh no, this is on right here. I turned it to the middle for you.
Let me put it real quick. Yeah, that's when he broke it down. He was like,
already know it's Intune Radio.
I'm about to.
Comedian Todd Davis.
How you do it? How you back it up?
What's up? You got it up there?
Oh, hold on.
That's my man, though. Big shout out to
Let me see.
me.
Oh, that's Jazz's part. I can't do the falsetto because I got a raspy voice. We're going to fast forward that
Man,
shit.
it's Intune Radio. We do this shit. We turn it to
I'm an alto. I'm an alto tenor. The soprano notes. It requires a lot of liquor.
I'm trying to find it. Hold on.
Let me see.
I
think it's about to start.
We got the best comedian.
All right, I'm about to sing.
Let's go. It's Intune Radio. We got comedian Todd Davis. Let's go. Do what we do.
Okay, he about to break down. Turn
Break
this.
it. Fuck it. What you gonna turn down? It's on the
What the hell kind of phone is this? This is the iPhone.
iPhone.
The iPhone what? Why it ain't no louder?
That is loud.
Let me see.
We got
Let me
comedian
see.
Todd Davis doing the
I'm about to sing for y'all. Because this song, like, this, I feel what he's saying. I ain't never been that sorry. I ain't never did shit to nobody like this. Let me see.
You're not ghetto as fuck.
No, this is. I love this shit, man.
Here you go.
Everything, lady. I don't want to cry no more.
Yo, she really singing though.
I don't want to cry no more. Let me be. Said, let me be. Oh, here you go. He about to break it down. Every little thing. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, baby. He meant that shit. He meant that shit.
Big shout out to comedian Todd Davis. It's Intune Radio, man.
Thank y'all. He said, I'm so sorry. Yeah, you are, nigga. But if someone apologize to me like that, I'll be like, okay. I'll be like, okay, let me think about it. My baby made me mad, and he pressed down on me a little bit, like in a Cisco type fashion, but wasn't singing. I definitely forgave him. I was like, well, all right. He's like, okay, well, I
So
forgive
listen,
you.
man, tell the fans what it. Go, I'm sorry.
We're gonna get ready to take a quick little break.
Okay.
We're gonna come back. We're gonna get a little more personal before we close out the show.
That's
So
right.
you might want to take a sip.
All right, let me take a sip.
We're gonna go in a little, but we'll be right back. It's Intune Radio.
All right, cool.